Let's talk about school fundraisers for your PTO, because there are 6 different things that I think you should kind of think about when you are choosing a fundraiser so that you are picking a better one that is better suited for you and your PTO, one that is going to be easier to run, more profitable in the end, and more just enjoyable. Like the whole process is enjoyable. So yeah, let's get to it. So the very first thing I want you to look at is like, what has worked before? Because if it has worked before, chances are it might work again. Not always. And sometimes things go stale. So you need to pay attention to that. But generally, what has worked well before will work again, given the right circumstances. So definitely know what kind of fundraisers you've been running in the last, let's say, 6 years. Now things are kind of funky because of the pandemic. So you may have to look around those years and certainly understand that things may have changed. Don't be afraid to go back in time and kind of check out what worked. If you don't know, ask other people. If there is nobody at your school with older kids who still have younger kids, go to the oh, jeez. I'm so excited here. I'm knocking things over. If there is no one around at the elementary school or whatever school you're at, go to the next school up and see if there are some volunteers who can talk to you about it. I know I am always willing to help out the younger generations, even though it's not what I mean. Younger generations of PTO leaders is kind of what I mean. The next thing you want to consider is what hasn't worked. If it bombed, unless there are massive changes to your community or circumstances, it's probably going to bomb again. So you want to totally switch things up. You don't want to be doing stuff that just fails, because that's just waste your time and you're not going to have money to do great things, and that's just going to suck. So don't do that. The next thing you want to look at is, what is the competition looking like? Are there community groups who are fundraising kind of around the same time that you're going to be fundraising? That is a bad idea, because people only have so much discretionary income. And so you really want to time things wisely and avoid competition as much as possible. So this is going to look different for each and every community, because there are different things going on. I always use the example of the Cavs, because I live in Cleveland. And so the Cavs used to be really good when LeBron was here and they won a championship and all that jazz. So it would have been a bad idea to run a fundraiser during the NBA playoffs, or when the Cavs would have been playing, because everyone was going to be watching the game either at their house or at a bar or somewhere. They're not going to be coming to a school fundraiser. So you really want to just avoid those minefields, because that is going to instantly tank your fundraiser if you're having an event-based fundraiser that require people to be there, if there's something else major going on. So definitely be aware of the competition. The next thing is you want to check out the economy. Actually, right now as we speak, the economy is actually very, very hot, but a lot of people think it's not very good. And that's because we were told there's never been a time when interest rates and inflation has been so high that it hasn't been followed by a recession. There were indicators that there would be a recession, but it's been a long time and there's no recession. So I am guessing there's not going to be a recession. So the economists are going to be well, this is another anomaly. Yeah, they happen. But generally, take a look at the economy. And I guess it's good to know if people think that the economy sucks, because then you might have to change things up. When the economy is stinky, people have less money and they're less apt to just give it up so freely. So you're going to have to make your ask be really compelling and be something they cannot resist. So you're just going to have to do more than if people are feeling flush and very free with their money, right? So just want to pay attention to the economy. The next thing is you really do want to keep things fresh. Like I said before, there have been times where my group has run a fundraiser and we're wow, that really worked really well. We're going to run that same stinking fundraiser this next year. And so this particular fundraiser was for recycled bags, and they were super cute. They came in a bunch of different patterns. So we ran it for the first time on a whim. I don't even remember why someone did this. I think they just really like the products and oh, we like cute tote bags and such. And so the first time we ran it in the spring, we earned $6,500, which for a spring fundraiser for our group was phenomenal and was just the cherry on top. We didn't actually need that much money. I think they just wanted to give this fundraiser a try. So that first year, that's how much we made. And then the second year we ran it, because again, had such good experience. We're this was hardly any work. This is fantastic. We should do it again. Ran it again, same time frame and everything. All things being equal, just a year later, and people had seen it before. Well, we made about half as much. Oh, still $3,200, $3,250, whatever. I know it was over $3,000. Still pretty good for a spring bonus fundraiser, right? So we decided to run it again for a third year. I bet you know what's coming. We raised half as much again. So by this point, we were like, all right, that dog is dead. We've beaten that horse. We need to try something new. In fact, that fundraiser had run its course with everybody, and it just wasn't as exciting as when we first saw it and all those cute patterns and prints. I'm looking at the bags. They're hanging on the back of my door now. Super cute. I love them. I have so many, and I actually use them all. So love them. Just make sure that your stuff isn't going stale. So even if it's worked before, you definitely want to keep things fresh and introduce new things. The last things that I really think that you should consider when you are choosing a fundraiser for your PTO to benefit your school community is, how do people order and pay? Now, post-pandemic, really the world of school fundraising has changed, because before it used to be more the exception to the rule that you could place online orders and items would just go ship directly to the people. Like, you still had everything goes to the school. You got to sort all the orders, and then people have to actually drive to the school, put on real pants, drive to the school, hopefully, get out of their car and then walk up and get the order, right? And you had to sit all there all night waiting for people to come pick up their stuff. Long gone are those days. And to that, I say good riddance, because that was always a hassle for pretty much everybody involved. Now people just order online for the most part and pay online too. So you just want to make sure that if you are not doing one of those order online and pay online and, the orders ship right to them, take that into consideration if it's going to be a pain for your community. If you're doing like a spiritware fundraiser where you're just ordering like a certain number of order of shirt, once the order comes in, you have to distribute them rather than the orders being delivered individually to the purchasers. So just go ahead and take that into consideration, because there might be a better, easier option. I hope this video has really given you a lot to think about when it comes to school fundraising and how you can pick a better fundraiser. Because I will tell you, do not make the mistake of just picking like whatever has been done before, or the first catalog that you get in your hot little hands advertising a fundraiser. Like, it is worth the investment of just a little bit of your time to kind of suss out the good fundraisers from the bad. If you are not clear on what some of those things are, then I highly suggest you take a look at the Fundraising Success Kit. I put all of my juicy good knowledge about running school fundraisers and put it into a guide. Then I added a binder and planner kit to it, and some other resources too, to make it just a fabulous, fabulous resource that you can have right at your fingertips to guide you along the way. So if you need that guidance, totally check that out. Otherwise, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you have more successful fundraisers as a result. Until next time, you take care. Want even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All of these resources and more are waiting for you at PTOanswers.com.